Hi, this is Denise with Papercrafty. I'm here today to share with you a project that I made using digitals that were a collaboration between DearJulieJulie and Cara Brandon. The digitals that we used for day one in the 5 days of Valentine Digis were these from Julie and this collage page from Cara Brandon. And the project I made was a little envelope and a card. And the card can be used either for journaling, a journaling spot in your junk journal, or it can be used as an actual Valentine's Day card. But you see it uses the little butterfly from Cara Brandon's kit and the card from Julie's kit. And it has some stamping and some fabric, some flowers, a little bit of fabric, some book page, some more lace, and some stitching in various places. Now, if you just want ideas for how to use the kit, this is one idea. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made it. If you want to continue watching the process video, that's great. I'm probably going to speed up some sections to make this video manageable. But if you just wanted ideas on how to use the kit, you can go ahead and go on to the next Valentine elf now. Okay, so I printed out Cara Brandon's collage page on both some heavyweight cardstock and also on some vellum. And to make the envelope for this, I'm going to go ahead and trim off part of this. I'm going to use this quadrant right here for the envelope. So I'm just trimming off these two edges to make sure that I get only the printed portion in the envelope. And I don't have those, that area that was a strip. Now, before I do that, I should mention that I went ahead and took Julie's digitals, and I wanted to use this card right here, but it wasn't quite big enough. So I went ahead and I made it, enlarged it. And the way I did that was I used my iPad. I have all of my downloads, digitals on here in my files section. But I use this, I have an HP printer, so I use this HP Smart, and it goes to my files, and I went ahead and went to day one of Julie's, pressed print, and then to resize it, I have to do it this way. I'm doing it manually, and then I can just resize it to any size I want. I didn't do it, so that it filled the whole page. I did it maybe to like there, something like that. You can play with it. And this unfortunately doesn't have a grid, so I can't see how big I'm actually making it. But I did that. Done. And then I hit print. Okay. And when I was done doing that, the measurements for this card ended up being approximately 3.5 by 4.5. Just, you know, once it's folded, it'll be those sizes. So I went to, in my file section, I have, I'd saved the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board measurements. And for a 3.5 by 4.5 inch card, I needed to cut the paper by 3.25 by 3.25 and then score it at 3 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out. Well, actually, I don't need to cut that out yet. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this paper out at, what did it say? 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, so my, unfortunately, my trimmer doesn't go up to 3 3/4. I have just the smaller one, so I just mark it. It's no big deal. I don't like to have all of my biggest supplies down here because I like to, with everybody home, the only place for me to do any of my crafting is in my kitchen. So in order to do that, I just have a couple little IKEA Rasco carts that I use to go ahead and work out of. So, you know, it's not where I normally craft. So I've got my craft room upstairs, but it's also part of the back part of my youngest daughter's room. She has a huge room, and so I made the back part of it a craft room. That's the wrong one. I made it a craft room, and in order to get this orientation so that you can read Papia, so it's you know, not sideways or upside down or whatever. I started it at this corner, so I need to score it at 3 inches. So cut it, I'm gonna score it. And again, I have just my little envelope punch boards. I don't think I own a larger envelope punch board, but this one works just fine. If I score it as far as it'll go, and then I just fold it the rest of the way, and then you keep on going around. Like this, as long as you line everything up, it works out just fine. That one doesn't need to be folded, although it's a little easier to see if you do kind of fold it at least there, that section. So yeah, so anyway, my youngest daughter, has what we initially had planned as the playroom for her room, and it's enormous. So I ended up taking a portion of that room and using it as my craft room. So, oh, and then I like to Yeah, but right now with everybody home, because of the pandemic, she does her classes out of her room generally. So most of the time I'm working down here. This is not working really, really well. Let's see. Oh, this isn't punching really well. Okay. Okay. And I folded them the wrong direction just because I was doing it quickly. But it doesn't, that doesn't really matter too much. Then I'm just going to fold them back. Make sure this is even right there. Goes all the way to the edge. There we go. Okay. And then I like to take this part. I don't like this sticking up there, so I just go to the divot right there on each of those edges. And then I draw a line. And then just cut that off. And I don't like this really kind of sharpish edge, so I just very slightly cut the corner so it looks a little teeny bit rounded. And then I just, actually I think I used a tape runner, just this Tombow Mono dot adhesive. This works pretty well for vellum, and because it's this dot adhesive, it kind of matches the pattern, the background pattern that Cara used a little bit with her design. Okay, so that's good. So that's the way the envelope looks, and I did the wrong one. All right, so I was supposed to cut that one and then use, okay. So, not the end of the world. I can put some powder on that later, get it not sticky. Okay, so this is, there's no mistakes, just I thought that looked too even on the other side because I remember thinking this was not very even. It's kind of crooked, this line, when I did it the first time, but it looks okay once it's all put together. See, that's what I get when I try to do things quickly. Mistakes. That's okay. But when you make mistakes, it gives you opportunity to try something different, something new. So I'm gonna take that. So this one will look just a little bit different. It'll have kind of a rounded edge instead of a triangular edge, and that's fine because I like that look too. So there we go. It's kind of cute. Okay, I'll just put some to make this less adhesive. I'll either, this is not permanent yet, so I can rub it off, but that's going to take a little while. Or I can put some powder on there or some baking soda to get it. This adhesive is temporary at first, and then it becomes permanent. So that's why I really like that tape runner. Okay, so let's see. On the original, I used, let's see, which digital did I use on that? I think I used the original size digital. That's what it looks like, the original size digital. Yeah, because the bigger one's too big. So the original size digital on this. And I just cut this out. Kind of to the size I wanted. Yeah, more or less to there-ish. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then I just used a little bit of put a little bit of distress, not a lot, just a teeny little bit of distress ink. Matter of fact, I'm probably doing it heavier now than I did it initially. And then I just glued this onto a piece of white. Can make it a little more even. There we go, kind of like that. There we go. And get my scissors, my postage stamp scissors, and then just kind of go fairly close along that edge there. Okay, like that. Looks good. Happy with that. Clean up some of my scraps here. And then I just took this, and I believe believe I used the art glitter glue. On this. And then just put it up here like a postage stamp. There we go. I'll let that dry a little bit before I try to do the stamping on here. And while we're letting that dry, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this puppy out. Fairly even. You can see how it's a little uneven right there. So I'm gonna even that out a little bit. That side looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, happy with that. And I'm just going to lightly distress the edges of this card. Okay. And then I'm gonna fussy cut this butterfly. And I printed this on a heavier weight cardstock. I think it was like 40-pound cardstock. And I like to use the HP cardstock because it seems to print a little nicer with my printer because it's a HP printer. So it took me a while to, and at first I really didn't believe that the brand of paper that matches the brand of your printer is best and that matters. But I kind of think it's true. If you want really good quality and high resolution, best resolution printables, I do think that getting paper that is good quality to begin with is good, first of all good, but that the different companies formulate their paper to go coordinate and work with their inks the best. So, and I've tried a lot of different papers, and in my experience, it kind of has been true that I do like the results better on HP. papers just because I have an HP printer, which if I were to get another printer, I don't think it would be an HP. I think other printers are better for printing photos and digitals, but you know, that's what I have for now, and I can't really justify purchasing a different printer at this point. So I'm just using what I have, and actually, I mean, I'm happy with the printables I do. I don't like printing photos on this particular printer. I did get a Canon Pixma about a year or so back because I just did not like. I didn't like the print quality that I was getting with the HP printer that I was using. Okay, so let's see. I put this guy here. You know, I went ahead and tore some paper. I just used some old book page that I had. I tore some paper to kind of fit right in there in that section. I don't know. More or less like that. I think it was a little. Maybe it was more like that. Okay, so yeah, that works. Okay, because I like having the layering. Sometimes, you know, in this particular instance, I just like to have the actual book page and not the just because there's words here on top of it and it's not the right orientation. So I like that collaged look, but I didn't want people to try to be reading what that said there. So I'm just covering that up like that. I put a little bit of fabric here. This piece is a little bit too big. That's still probably too big. So, okay, that's good for now. I can always trim it more later. And since this fabric is just super thin, I'm just going to glue this right on top. You know, on the original, I did do some sewing on here. Obviously on this one, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I don't have my sewing machine set up down here. And it just, you know, for demonstration purposes, that would take way too long. So I just put it more or less like that, a little butterfly. Yeah, you can arrange it however you like. And then I took some Prima flowers that I had in my stash. Yeah, I think they sell these in Recollections brand now, but these I've had forever. And they also, I think they also have some similar to this in the wedding section sometimes at Michael's. You can find them. Okay. There we go. And place one over here somewhat. Actually, I think I need one more white one. And a couple of these I just cut in half. Actually, I just cut it with a pair of scissors is fine. There we go. Go. And I just kind of placed these underneath here like that, so that kind of props the wing up more or less like that. And I had previously stamped an image, a number of images, but I had this Valentines stamp from, I think it was from the dollar spot at Michael's, and I just stamped it and heat embossed it. So I had that, and that gave me a couple of just little images. So I'm just going to cut this. I'll cut that out. And this is, I stamped this on vellum. This is actually adhesive vellum. I'm not sure they make this anymore. This is from way back in the day. I think it was from Quick Cuts. But this was just heat embossed right on the vellum. And you don't have to have it on vellum if you have, but it's just, you know, you don't even, if you don't have this, you know, this stamp, you can use something similar, or you can hand draw it, or just, you know, a little something kind of right in that area. I liked this just because it gave me a little bit of texture. Over in this section here. So kind of more or less like that. I used Fabri-Tac to hold down the flowers. And I'm low on Fabri-Tac, so I need to refill this soon. Okay. Okay, so this one kind of went over this side a little bit like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut these first before I glue those down. And I think I just did it off of Cara Brandon's digital here. Did she have her collage sheet? Just cut a little strip here. Okay, I probably should have just used my trimmer because I keep making it smaller and smaller, trying to even it up. But anyway, oh gosh. All right, so try that. See how I like that right there. Okay. Do my little guideline and then right into it. Okay, so this guy, so you just kind of put in there more or less. And this one's gonna go pretty much right there. Cut a little bit of, I'm videoing, go ahead.
I got my new watch.
Oh wow, that's cool. What is that
It's
one?
for running.
What is it? What brand is it?
It's Garmin.
Dang, that's nice. I like it. Pretty. Congrats.
They're super cheap.
All right. Super cheap.
It's used.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Is it refurbished? Nice. Very cool. Well, you must be excited about that. Okay, and then I like to just kind of fray it a little teeny bit. And cut some of these. I don't like them too long. And again, I sewed these in the original, but I'm not doing that for this one. Oh my goodness, I really need some more. A refill of this. Okay. And then I've got, just gonna place this right in here. Let's see. Put this more or less right there. Okay. And then this guy, I'm gonna fray this too. All right, I like it all frayed think it looks cool when it's kind of frayed like that, but then I'm gonna trim the edges slightly. And let's see, that's too long, just a little bit too long. I'm gonna trim that so you can actually see that this is, there we go, okay. Oh, I've got the Kleenex all the way on the other side of the table. Oh, there it went. Okay. All right. All right. All right, and then I've got nice. Okay, so that goes more or less right there. All right, I put way too much Fabri-Tac on that. Oh, hello. No, okay. Yeah, I don't like it oozing out. Fabri-Tac dries clear but shiny, and I don't really like that so much. So if it oozes out like that, I just kind of wipe it off. Okay. And get rid of that super long one. Let's see, let's try different directions on this one, see where I like it. Kind of like it, you know, just tucked in a little bit, but not, you know, too much. And I'm kind of covering up all of that paper, so I don't want to do that. How about like that? That looks nice right there. Okay. So again, I really need to refill this with Fabri-Tac. I have a whole big full bottle upstairs too. I usually keep an extra bottle of Fabri-Tac around because we go through a lot of this. I love this stuff. Matter of fact, my husband's been pilfering it. He likes it to repair. He has like 3 pairs of shorts that he he loves, and he can't seem to find the same exact ones that he wants. And so when they start failing, you know, getting, you know, small rips and stuff, he'll like use this to like, I mean, they're not even worth repairing, honestly. I mean, I would mend them for him if he really wanted me to, but honestly, they're like just for bumming around the house and stuff, not even ones that he, you know, would wear into public. He like will use this to, you know, do his thing. He's kind of set in his ways. He's funny. But I guess I am too. So we're a good pair that way. All right, so I'm just gonna trim up this little bit there. All right, I kind of like all the extra fabric the way that one turned out. Got more fabric down here instead of up there this time, but anyway, I like that. Could come back and do some stitching here and here if you wanted to. I may or may not do that. I think, oh, and I gotta add my love down here. I think when I did the previous ones, I stitched it after the fact, after I had everything in, although I might not have put these more three-dimensional flowers in before I stitched, so can't be entirely sure of that. But anyway, I don't like this completely square. I'm gonna kind of make it a little, yeah, I like it a little off. Okay. Okay, so that's good. Okay, and then now I just need to add some lace here. So I'm going to trim off generally what I need, so I don't have this big huge thing of lace there. And I'm just gonna put a bead of, got Fabri-Tac over there, bead of Fabri-Tac, a line of Fabri-Tac right down along the edge here. And let's see, I'm going to try to get that off. If you get it right away, it kind of, it's almost like, you know, rubber cement used to be. You can just kind of roll it off. Of course, it's a little tough when you've got something 3D under there. All right, good enough. All right, so let's see, I'm gonna go this direction to the fold. And the nice thing about this is that, you know, you can adjust it if you need to while it's still wet. Okay, that looks good. Got my big old Tim Holtz scissors. I love these things. I think I have every size of these Tim Holtz tonic scissors that they make. My husband and my mother-in-law are both lefties, and one Christmas I got everybody in my family these scissors, just when they had the smaller size, the middle size, and now it's everybody's favorite scissor. I mean, I've gotten rid of almost all of the scissors that we have in the house, other than these. Oh, I kind of got a little fine. Okay. I can't believe it is that. Okay. And there we go. All right, good enough. So anyway, so yeah, pretty much, pretty close, except for the stitching. That's what we forgot to do. I forgot to do the stamping. I had this this stamp. I'm not sure where I got that. Can't remember which. I can't find my ink, but I'll just use the distressed oxide. It's pretty similar to what I used. And let's see, I'll just kind of, I'll lift it, no big deal, because it's going to cover that up pretty much. And do that very center part, but that's okay because then it has just more of a distressy look. So, you know, there's no mistakes. It's just playing around and having fun. So, okay, so that's pretty close. Pretty close. All right, so that is the card. And then for the envelope, I use these two little stamps. You can use whatever, you know, whatever stamps you have. I knew I was going to emboss them because I wanted them to be really dark, and the this brilliance is really good for the it will dry eventually. It takes a while, but it'll dry on the vellum, so it's really good for the vellum, but it wasn't coming out dark enough for me, so. And the first thing that I did, I'm gonna stamp it on a piece of paper first. Okay, and you'll see why in a minute. This one has, this one says love. It's a Valentine's kit. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and emboss this one first before I stamp the other one. Just very lightly shaking it off. It has this stamp has a distressed look to begin with, so I like that because then you don't feel like it needs to be perfect. Okay, and the key with that one is making sure that it doesn't, you don't spend too long on the vellum because it will warp the vellum and burn it if you go too close and too long next to the vellum. But as long as you don't go on, you know, too close, you should be fine. Okay, so then I'm going to mask this off. And I'm going to stamp there we go. There we go. Nice. And then the same thing with this one. Okay. Turn my embossing powder to my and I'm using the Ranger super fine detail, Ranger super fine detail embossing powder. So here's the original and here's the one we made, and here's the original and here's the one we made today. So pretty similar. Again, I'm gonna have to put some powder on the back of this to get it to not stick. But that fits right down in there. And you can put a little bit of washi to close it up. Now I wouldn't be putting this through the mail, but you could easily, give this, hand this to somebody as a Valentine's Day card. It's a nice little Valentine's Day card, super sweet. Or you could take, and put it into your journal, as a page tuck, just like that, with this inside, with or without this. They could be used together or separately. So just really sweet, nice little project. I hope you enjoyed that. And again, this was from 5 days of Valentine's digitals as a collaboration between DearJulieJulie and Cara Brandon Designs. Yeah, this was day one. I hope you liked that project and you're inspired to craft on. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.